Hi everyone, welcome back to another Think Tank Taste Test. I'm Jared and today we're going to be looking at cheddar cheese. Why cheddar cheese? Well, it's the most consumed cheese in North America, and with the holidays coming up, you might be trying to figure out what you can add to your cheese board that would be great for someone who wants something a little different but is still quite familiar, and cheddar is definitely the category to look at. You have a huge amount of choice from looking at the age of the cheese to the different milks used to the different flavors available, and flavors are a really hot trend right now. In fact, flavored cheese is growing at twice the rate as unflavored cheeses, and within cheddar alone there's a huge amount of selection. So I tried to pick some that I thought my team might enjoy while leaving out some other ones that I know I would certainly like, something like a horseradish cheddar. It's also a great time for me to mention that this video is unsponsored. We've paid for all the product and none of these brands are our clients. So speaking of trends, another one we were looking at were plant-based cheeses. And the selection of them was actually a little bit trickier than I initially thought. So I had to exclude some brands like Daya and Field Roast and Follow Your Heart, as they just weren't the right match for the types of cheeses I was looking at in this one, so I had to exclude them. And because this is a cheddar cheese test, they needed to have cheddar either in the name or in the description of the product. So two brands that I was really hoping to include that I had to exclude were Cultured, which is a Toronto startup, and Miyoko's, which I would say arguably the largest brand in this particular category of plant-based cheeses. Now, both of them have cheeses that one could say are cheddar-like, but they intentionally don't define themselves that way. They want to be considered just another cheese on your cheese board, which I really like because it means you can't compare them to anything, and it makes them a unique new product versus the plant-based alternative to whatever it is. So because of that and out of respect for those brands, I had to exclude them. So the cheeses we did try, in the randomized order we tried them, were the Snowdonia 14-month aged cheddar cheese, the Bothwell Red Wine Extra Old Cheddar, Nuts for Cheese Chipotle Cheddar Style, which is a plant-based, Woolwich Old Goat Cheddar, the Black River Cheddar Cheese with Honey, Stokes Sharp Cheddar Style, which is a plant-based, as is the Fromagerie Zengari Ale Aged, and finally the Thornlow Grass-Fed Medium Cheddar. I watched a webinar about a month ago that was hosted by Dairy Foods looking at cheese trends in the United States, and they really highlighted that the two biggest buying factors for consumers when it comes to cheese are price and flavor. So flavor we're obviously about to get to, so let's look at price just momentarily. So looking on average, the shredded and sliced and the big block cheeses, you're looking at about a cent per gram, roughly. Once you get into these premium cheeses and the dairy side, you're looking at prices between 3 and 5 cents per gram, at least the ones that we purchase. There are some that are higher and lower again. Once you get to plant-based, they really start around 6 cents per gram and go upwards from there. The ones we tried were between 6 and 10. So these are massive price differences. And interestingly, that price differences matches what you see over in the milk category. When you look at what's happening there, dairy milk sales are on about a 3% decline in sales, while plant-based is 6% increase in that same period, showing consumers are willing to pay for these products. US sales of plant-based cheeses reached 160 million last year, which is up 19% from the year before, while conventional cheese sales have remained pretty much flat. With such a diverse range of flavors available, it's not surprising that after calculating all the different scores, all the cheeses end up being non-significantly different in scoring from each other. So we don't have a preferred overarching cheddar cheese to announce. But let's break it down a little bit more, and when we do that, we can see that the preferred unflavored cheese, cheddar cheese, was the Snowdonia 14-month, while the favorite flavored cheese was the Black River cheddar cheese with honey. Mintel recently released some research that showed that the taste and texture were critical for plant-based brands trying to target flexitarians, which is really what I am and most of my team are. And going into this taste test, I was really curious to see if my team could pick out which ones were plant-based options. And without fail they could, and texture was a big part of this. As soon as the knife touched these cheeses, they were all much softer versus all the dairy-based cheddars. And that may have impacted some of the taste scores, although overall, feedback around the flavor was actually very positive, although nobody would say that they taste like cheddar. As soon as you associate with an existing product, you're going to be compared against it. It's why Beyond and Impossible have had such success against their previous counterparts who didn't quite have that same texture, look, and feel. But the biggest takeaway here is that cheddar cheese is a crowd favorite. No matter which one you go with, the vast majority of people are going to like it, and even those who didn't love it will appreciate what it is. So if you've tried any of the ones that we tried, let us know which one's your preferred one. If we didn't taste your preferred one, which reality is we didn't. Let us know what it is, and if I can get it, I will certainly try it. And thanks once again for joining us for another Think Tank Taste Test. Have an amazing holiday season. We're going to be back in 2020 with another one, and we'll see you then.